Guys, I'm here to talk to you about our Patreon. Patreon.com/shades-and-sketch. We've got all kind of great content for you there you won't find in normal episodes. You can join and support the show for as little as $1 a month. At $5, you unlock all kind of exclusive content like episode voting, Patreon-only episodes, and exclusive artwork. On to this week's episode.
Oh, hello. I'm Sketch.
And I'm Shades.
And this is Geeking Out with Shades and Sketch. Welcome back, longtime listeners. Every time you join us in a different corner of the Geeking Out multiverse. Shades, where's the GOCO set up this week?
Sketch, I'm glad you asked. This week, GOCO is set up in 888 North Lakeshore Drive, Chicago, Illinois. The swanky Frank Lloyd Wright-inspired penthouse of Bruce Wayne.
Very nice.
And not Titans Tower.
Not Titans Tower. Not Titans Tower.
Right.
Yes, correct.
But kind of? Not really. Sort of.
Kind of. It's like step Titans Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it could someday be.
It could. So if we are squatting on Bruce Wayne's dime, that must mean that we are talking about Titans.
DC Universe's 2018 series, Titans.
The flagship show of the streaming service,
yes,
right?
Okay. It is the launch show, and yeah.
Do we have a theme song for this week's episode?
I think so.
I know we don't always, but do we want...
What's this button do?
Oh, let's see.
Yo, son, this guy don't know who he is.
Oh, really? Then I think it's time we tell him. Go to Titans, go to Titans, go to Titans, go. T-double-E-N-T-I-T-A-N-S. We the real heroes taking down the big menace.
Oh, perfect. That matches the tone of the show perfectly.
Let me
just push the button.
Stop that now.
Perfect. So guys, if we are talking Titans, okay, for starters, yes, this is our third Teen Titans episode.
Guys, we have prefaced numerous times we're huge DC fanboys.
And you might be asking yourself, why on God's green earth are you doing a third Teen Titans episode? And to that we say, fuck you, that's why. Because this is Shades and Sketch's show, and I don't geek out harder than I do on Titans.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's why.
So anything Teen Titans could be spoiled, which we've already said before, and I'll just include that our Teen Titans episodes might also be spoiled. So if you haven't seen our Teen Titans
if you haven't listened to our two previous episode on DC Animated's The Judas Contract, Titans Judas Contract, or Warner Brothers DC Teen Titans Go to the Movies, we will probably spoil those for you. And you just heard a snippet of the opening theme song from Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Yeah, and this series is a direct sequel, I believe.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
So I guess we don't have to do our history.
We have talked about our history with Titans ad nauseum.
Yeah.
Should we just talk about our history with this show?
This specific show?
Yeah, I mean, I'm already on record of eating crow for, falling in with the haters of everything that was happening with this show. And in my big questions and my rants, I've kind of laid that at Warner Brothers' feet a little bit.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll take them to task.
But I've already apologized for that. This was one of my recommendations. I'm glad you took my recommendation and watched the series.
All right. I was always planning to watch it.
Yeah.
I was excited.
I was never going to boycott it. I was always planning to watch it.
But I was hesitant when I...
Fuck Batman.
Yeah, well, that, sure. But also the stills that were coming out from production.
Stills were horrific.
And I'm going to talk about that later,
Me
specifically.
too.
But then I watched it, and I was all in.
Yeah.
I was all in.
Show me something new, and I'm all in.
Episode 1,
All in.
All in.
It's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
From episode 1, you were all in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I watched the first episode and texted you immediately and was like, I was 100% wrong.
Yes, you did. Yeah, you did. I get a lot of those texts.
You do. Yeah, that's fair.
Remember when we did Lost in Space?
I love this. I hate this. Nope, I definitely love this.
Yep. It was a real
It was a roller coaster.
emotional roller coaster.
I mean, just right off the bat, I love that when every new character is introduced, they say, fuck Batman.
Every single
Yes.
character does. Even the waitress in the diner.
Yeah. I was really surprised by
yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's...
At
it's-
one point, Booster Gold just randomly shows up. He's like, fuck Batman.
It's like a trope.
Yeah. You know. Guys, we'll get there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
So seeing as we don't have to do our history with Teen Titans, do you have any history of just this show, this rendition?
I do.
Okay.
A live-action Titans TV series entered development in 2014 at TNT. And it stayed in development hell until 2016 when Turner released the rights. And that was going to be an adult Titans team following Nightwing, Starfire, Cyborg, Beast Boy, and Raven.
Okay.
Kind of like a grown-up version of the 2003
Cartoon
animated
series.
cartoon series.
Yeah. Okay.
The Amerime cartoon series.
Yep. I'm with you. So far.
In 2016, as it was acquired by Warner Brothers and DC and set up as the flagship show for a new streaming service. For a little while, it was supposed to be part of the Arrowverse, and it was going to live on CW Seed.
Yeah, that was their app, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they still have that. And the show is produced by Greg Berlanti, who does the Arrowverse shows. But it exists in a separate universe.
Okay.
And there will be no crossover.
Never.
They've already said that. Will be no crossover
They
between
wouldn't mesh.
at all.
No,
No. It's a very different tone.
it is.
So they created this DC Universe app that's like the flagship service for DC, and it was their flag show release program. The biggest hurdle was getting the rights to Robin, which had been locked up with Batman for decades. And the kind of the operating thought here was Titans without Robin was a no-go.
Yeah.
So if they couldn't get the rights to Robin, they weren't going to do it. They weren't going to do it. And that's what killed the TNT show.
Okay.
I'm not sure what changed,
Yeah.
but they not only did they get Robin, they got Batman.
They did. Yeah.
I mean, big spoiler for the show, kind of. They kind of got Batman.
Yeah.
You never actually see him.
we got a world with a Batman.
But their world has Batman. It
Yes.
very much has Batman.
Yes.
So that was the non-starter. They had to get the rights to Robin.
Okay. Do you know how they got it?
I don't.
Okay.
I could not find that information.
Insider info, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So drawing on the team story and drama of the 80s run with Raven and Trigun at the center of the story, we're getting kind of a hybrid Terror of Trigon story.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. You had said very early on when we looked at this,
What did I say? I don't remember.
if the smart thing to do would be to center the show around Raven.
Oh, yeah, and they listened.
They did.
They listened.
Clearly. Greg Berlanti, longtime listener. He writes in all the time.
Yep. And
Thanks for writing in, Greg.
you're welcome for
Yeah.
the idea, the advice, and
We'll keep dishing it out.
yeah, I got some more nuggets.
Yeah.
Sure. And so that just brings us to modern day.
Superman.
I almost said fuck Wonder Woman, but that
No,
has a whole different connotation to it.
That's not okay.
I can dig it.
Oh boy.
So I guess we should just launch right into
Synopsis?
the synopsis of the show.
Do you have a synopsis?
I don't have one.
I have one.
But don't make it too spoilery.
Oh, no.
Although we're going to spoil a lot.
We've talked at length about Titans.
But there's some big moments. Yeah, just do it.
Okay. You trust me? You trust me, long-time listeners?
Oh,
You shouldn't. But do you?
they should not.
Dick Grayson is pulled back into the life when goth orphan Rachel Roth turns up at his precinct in Detroit after her mom is assassinated. Spoiler.
That was episode 1, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the
that
first
was
5
right
minutes.
off the bat.
First 5 minutes. Shot in the head.
Yep.
The two embark on a trek across the country to find the answers, encountering other members of the Teen Titans, Beast Boy, Corey, Starfire, Donna along the way, as well as an expanded members of the DCEU, Hawk and Dove 2, the Doom Patrol, Robin 2, Jason Todd, and the Batman himself. Kind of. Titans go! Which he didn't say, and I was disappointed.
What would it have fit if he had said Titans Go?
It would have fit better than Fuck Batman.
Um,
Although it wasn't as bad as the trailer made it out to be.
let's talk about
that.
Fuck Batman.
We have to.
Can we talk about Fuck Batman? 'Cause
Yeah.
It for me, it's not a rant nor a rave, but it should be addressed.
It is.
Okay.
It needs to be.
When the trailer came out and he said, "Fuck Batman," it seemed very angsty.
It was so out of context of anything.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
like Robin showed up and just out of nowhere said, "Fuck Batman."
Yeah. Or it was like, someone go help Batman. No, fuck Batman.
Or it was like the camera just pans to like angsty teenager, like, "Fuck off, man."
Yeah.
Like with no solicitation, just "Fuck Batman."
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the context of the show,
In the context of
was very
the
appropriate.
scene in which it took place.
Yes.
It
was
fit.
perfect.
It was
fit,
really.
It was tonally appropriate.
What else could he have said in that moment?
Because let's break this down. Robin, the whole Robin character is meant to be a distraction for Batman. You're looking at the bright colored kid. You don't see the world's greatest martial artists
Sneaking
kicking
up
you
on
upside the head.
Yep.
That's the whole purpose of Robin.
No, I know. Yeah. He's a decoy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is a decoy in body armor.
Yeah.
Not great body armor, turns out. But
Batman,
fuck Batman.
I mean,
you know what? Like, really, fuck Batman.
DCF should be the biggest villain of Batman.
Yeah.
Like, when Batman finally gets taken down, it should be for that.
Yeah.
For, like, endangerment to children.
Endangerment to children. Yep.
That would be... I'd love it. I'd watch that movie.
Yep.
Let's get Batfleck back for that one.
Too soon, Sketch.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Who knows when this is airing?
Too soon. Well, I mean, he's already out. Guys, if you're not aware, Ben Affleck is no longer Batman.
Yeah, I know. I meant who knows when this episode is airing, because it might not be too soon anymore.
Oh, yeah. It'll always be too soon for me.
Yeah,
I'm going to miss him.
So it's a fresh car. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we...
So just to unpack that a little bit more, the problem with this show is, and just the DC cinematic universe too, just DC in general, is like poor marketing.
Yeah.
It like right down to Batman versus Superman and Justice League. Like they have no idea or concept how to roll these things out appropriately.
Sure.
And that's really where Marvel is killing them right now. It's not even so much as in delivering like quality movies. Are there elements of the Marvel movies that are better? Yes. Are there elements that are worse? Certainly. Was there a script for an Infinity War? Probably not. I mean, when you really look at it. There was a storyboard and like a sequence of events that they wanted to have happen, but I'm pretty sure Robert Downey Jr. just shows up and says whatever the fuck he wants. And we know Sebastian Stan didn't have a script in front of him when he shot his scenes. So like
Marvel
they have a marketing machine that has a very...
That's Disney.
They just have a very clear idea of how they're going to release these and how they're going to market them. And they start internationally. And DC finally got its shit together with Aquaman and opened this movie internationally first. And the last place it opened was the US. So it generated a huge buzz and a huge international take before it ever came to the United States. And
that's why they do that?
That's why. And all of the Marvel movies, like Thor Ragnarok, opened in Norway first, and the last place it opened was the US.
As it should have opened in Norway first.
Yeah,
I like that.
Absolutely.
I like that. Where did Aquaman open first?
Aquaman, I think, opened first in
the ocean?
in China or Japan.
Just a barge?
Yeah, a barge in the middle of the China Sea.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that's really smart.
And did it get really good reviews?
It got amazing reviews.
Just picture that.
So, I mean, and just case in point, Aquaman was like already the highest grossing DC movie, but domestically it only just became the highest grossing DC movie. It was still, however many they've done, I think 6 now. It was 6 out of 6 for domestic gross until just this week.
Wow.
February.
Impressive.
Took 3 months.
Yeah. A slow burn.
Yeah, a very slow burn.
Yeah.
Domestically. Internationally, it's already made like $1 billion.
Yeah. That's great.
So, that's a long way of saying DC and Warner has no idea how to like release and market these films. And Titans got some really bad PR right out of the gate through releasing really bad publicity stills. Those were not like people who snuck onto the set. Those were bad publicity stills that some photographer took and nobody looked at before they went out.
Do you think someone got fired?
I really do.
I hope so.
I really think someone got fired. And also the first trailer of just fuck Batman. Out of context like that. They released 2 other trailers that were fantastic. Did you see the one that was like the dripping black across the screen and it's Robin and the dripping black forms, it looks like the form of Sadfleck behind him.
Oh.
And he's like in Batman, literally in Batman's shadow.
I think the only thing I saw was fuck Batman. I think that was the only trailer I saw.
And there were some other...
I'll be honest, it didn't turn me off as grievously as it did you.
But it was just bizarre. It was just a bizarre choice. And hopefully DC has learned that lesson. And they're really going to get serious about their marketing. Because that's really the difference to me.
Yeah. There's a different tone between Marvel and DC.
There is.
As well.
This was definitely in the vein of the Netflix Marvel universe.
This was.
From opening.
Which,
I think was a great decision.
Great decision, especially with the Netflix Marvel universe
KIA.
just gone.
Hey, this just in, Jessica Jones canceled.
Yeah. As of today, as we're recording.
Before season 3 has even come out, Jessica Jones canceled.
Yep.
So I think they really strayed from the nest on what they were trying to do with those shows.
Yeah.
And this show posits a world in which heroes and magic and costumes all exist.
Yep.
Right from scene 1. Great.
That's a real benefit of this show is, like you say a lot. We don't need another origin story.
We don't need an origin story.
The people watching this, taking in this media, don't need another origin story. At least not at those incredibly basic levels. Like, we should really explain who Robin is.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Okay, later, maybe we should explain where Hawk and Dove came from. Sure. That's a good use of an origin story.
Maybe we should explain the Doom Patrol a little bit.
But, like, we don't need another Spider-Man origin story. We definitely don't need another Dick origin story.
Voyages of the Beyond!
Yes. If I have to
could have used an origin.
If I have to see Martha and Thomas Wayne get killed in another movie...
One more time. It's just gratuitous at this point.
It is.
We know, the pearls break, they fall on the ground, blood, roses.
South Park doesn't even kill Kenny anymore.
Really? They don't?
Yeah, they don't. So, I mean,
wow.
DC has taken on that torch and is running with that.
How many times in different ways can we kill Thomas and Martha Wayne?
Yeah.
Wow, really? South Park doesn't kill Kenny anymore?
Yeah, it's been multiple seasons since they killed him.
That's okay. There we have it.
Yeah. This isn't the South Park episode, but...
Stop with the Batman origin stories.
There was a season where, like, he died and he died permanently.
I remember that.
And then he came back, and ever since he came back, he stopped.
Yes.
He stopped dying.
I didn't realize they never killed him again after that.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. The show's grown up a little bit. But anyway, back to another grown-up show. Titans. Do you have the all-important internet
I'm
scores?
glad you asked, Sketch. I do.
These I don't know at all.
Okay.
And so I'm very interested to hear what they are.
I think you're going to be surprised.
Okay.
IMDb.
Yeah.
8.2.
Wow. It's good.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Initially, it got a 90%.
Oh.
It's dropped down to 84%.
Okay.
Critic score. Fan score, 80%. Metacritic, 55. Fuck you, Metacritic. I'm sorry I brought you in.
Yeah, seriously.
Google.
Metacritic is like the adopted child you regret.
Yeah.
You know that one? You know how every family has an adopted child that they regret?
Can I give it back?
Yeah. They're the Jason Todd of our bad family. Yep.
Crowbar.
Yep.
Too soon? No.
No, never too soon for
I
that.
love that when you were watching the show, you got to Jason Todd.
Yes.
And you were like, This show's great. Like, I love Jason Todd. They made him like appropriately douchey, and I hate him.
Yeah, I said,
love to hate him.
I love Jason Todd. They really nailed it because I hate him.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah,
they nailed it.
they did.
Yeah.
You hate him from the instant he shows up.
The instant he shows up.
95% of Google reviewers love Titans. Shades, 92. I loved it.
Wow, that's
I loved
great. I give it 98.
Whoa,
Yeah,
you really loved
I
it.
really loved it.
Was it Beast Boy that did it for you?
No, it was like the whole kit and caboodle,
yeah.
but I did love Beast Boy. I always love Beast Boy.
I thought he
this
was
a
done
great Beast Boy.
so well.
Well, then let's talk about my first rave.
Sure. Beast
My first rave is the depiction of the core four.
Okay.
Our four main Titans.
Yes. Beast
Robin,
Boy,
Corey,
Starfire,
Beast Boy, Raven.
Yeah.
Let's start with Dick.
Okay.
We
Grayson.
always
start with
Dick. We always
Grayson.
start with Dick. So, I think the smartest thing they did with this Dick, Grayson, is that they put him at the age they put him at.
Yes.
So he is not a teen.
Nope.
He's a full-on adult.
He's like 25.
Yeah.
22, 25,
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
That's fair. And
we've missed all of the fallout. So when Batman finds Robin,
Mhm.
Batman's like, it's posited now with retconning. Robin is like 12 to 15
Mhm.
in there when Batman finds him, and Batman's like 20.
Okay.
With some retconning, Robin stays with him until he's 19 and Batman is 29. Now, Batman's kind of been a father figure to him.
Mhm.
And by 19, Dick Grayson, he's his own man.
Yeah.
He's like,
he's grown up, as we all
Batman
do.
still wants him to be the distraction.
Yeah.
And
the order follower,
yes,
not the questioner.
not the questioner.
Mhm.
And historically, Batman has just kind of digressed to his most brutal self at this point in the comics. And he's enough. I'm out. I'm done. Not doing this anymore. I don't know what it is you're trying to accomplish, but I'm out.
Yeah.
This world posits where their falling out is not so much of not following orders, but Dick, he's a little too much like Batman.
He's recognizing, or he recognized recently that he was becoming too much like Batman, and that is not a good thing.
Right.
That is not someone to strive to be.
Right.
And he is basically pulling the cord before it's too late.
Yes.
So making a very mature decision.
Yes.
Kind of self-preservation.
Yeah.
And so we meet this Dick Grayson that has basically hung up the mantle. He's given up.
It's very interesting.
The mask.
It's almost like someone who's gone through like a 12-step program.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've recognized they have a problem. They've removed themselves from the catalyst and the substance.
Yep.
And the like cold turkey and like has gone in the complete opposite direction. This Dick Grayson is a cop in Detroit.
Yep.
Like you can't be like, he has the epitome of like rules and procedures and accountability
Mm-hmm.
that he must follow to keep him on the straight and narrow.
Yep.
I love that. I think it's really interesting. I think it's a new take.
Smart.
While in the same vein of the tradition of that split, but in a bold new way that makes a lot of sense and is very smart.
Absolutely. Speaking of a new direction, but a smart decision, let's talk about Starfire.
I love this Starfire.
Yeah.
She's very different than any of the Starfires we've met.
She's very different, and I think the core change in her is that she is savvy. She is not ditzy.
Yes.
Which it has always made sense that Starfire is, quote unquote ditzy because she's new to the planet.
Right.
But this Starfire, even though she's new to the planet, is at least,
Starfire is usually
posited
as a refugee.
Yes.
That has crashed here and needs help.
Yes.
This Starfire is like the CIA of Tamaran.
Yes.
She is the advanced special forces.
And to still get that flavor of Starfire of like not quite understanding what's going on,
land.
they give her amnesia.
Yes.
Perfect. That's a great way to update that story.
And I love the character motif that they've given her. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but I love that like 1970s disco punk kind of aesthetic that they've given her. People like ranked on her like costume and look to the point where the actress left Twitter. Just
been happening a lot.
Didn't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great decision because Starfire is probably the one character that does not transition from a comic or a cartoon
into live action.
I agree. Well,
Mm-hmm.
She's like kind of orange with green bug eyes. Like you don't usually in the
very
comics.
Obviously,
you don't.
An alien.
She doesn't have pupils in the comics. She just has like solid
green eyes,
bright green eye, like key lime green eyes.
Yeah, like in the comic or like in the show when
her hair is legitimately on fire
glowing
all the time. Yeah. Like that would not transition to live action at all. Yeah. So I think they made a great design choice with the character. I think it makes sense. Anna Diop or Diop, I'm not sure on the pronunciation. I found her a very I was interested in her. I loved her choices and how she went with the character. I loved how strong and confident they made her. Like they retained the strength and power of Starfire. They retained the vulnerability, but I was always intrigued by her on screen. I thought she was great.
She did get a lot of hate.
A lot.
When that still came out, I remember being completely underwhelmed, and I don't blame
underwhelmed by her.
No. When that still came out.
The still was terrible.
And it was
again, out of context.
It was out of context. And that's
scenes,
the issue.
Yeah.
If you're gonna release some sort of image, regardless of what you're doing, whether it's for movies or TV, or if you're just, an artist releasing, you have to know the audience and the background knowledge of an audience. And you have to kind of meet your audience halfway.
Right.
And that was just, this is what we're doing.
Right.
That's it. End of sentence.
It's almost like it's like the rollout for this show was almost like a small child bringing things in for show and tell. Look, it's a live action Titan series, and we got it. Isn't this great?
I don't know if I'm too cynical here, but part of me wonders was part of it done a little purposefully because
get the expectations low,
or that kind of internet buzz is still buzz.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is a saying there's no such thing as bad press.
Yeah,
I think you're giving them too much credit on that one because
so?
it was across the board, like bad rollout, and certainly after the first stills of Raven and Beast Boy waiting between takes, I think there was even a camera jig in the way of them. You learn your lesson at that point.
That's why I thought it had been paparazzi. I was surprised to hear
it wasn't.
They
were official behind the scenes stills.
They could have done
a much better job.
Just a little effort. And they would have,
I think
avoided a lot of those issues.
I think they're doing 110% on the back end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And especially gearing up for Doom Patrol. And Hawk and Dove are going to have their own series.
Oh, are they?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
And also, they're going to do an animated Harley Quinn series.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That looks great. Yeah, I think they've learned their lesson.
DC's swinging now.
Swinging for the fences.
Yeah. Yeah. Back to characters.
Yes.
Beast Boy.
Love him.
Love him.
Love him.
Freaking love Beast Boy. He's still funny, charming.
Yes.
But you see how that is a mask.
Yes.
How that's his Band-Aid over his open wound.
There is
insecurities.
There is a deep well there.
Yes.
In a way that even as dark as they've made Dick Grayson in this universe, there is just a darkness inside of him that we have not seen yet.
Yes, and it's fantastic. The fact that Beast Boy can still be this lighthearted character, can care so much for his teammates, and then you have those glimpses of his fear, like of himself.
Yes.
And his constant struggle of restraint.
Yes.
And losing control. I mean, those are taken right out of the Raven book.
Yes.
You know? And
I think that was really smart.
So smart. That's what I'm saying. Each one of these characters had a very smart new direction
and
taken.
he's the perfect foil for her too. And I think that's the problem with the Raven Beast Boy shipping that they've always done in both comics and the show. They've never like figured out what makes those two, what people like about those two characters and why they pair so well together. And I think they got it this time.
I do think they got it.
That like he has just as much of a darkness
She does.
And trusts himself or doesn't trust himself as much as Raven doesn't trust herself.
Yes.
In the same, there is like a literally a beast inside of him.
Yes.
That he doesn't fully understand how to bring out. And he doesn't understand he's not in control, essentially, of what's happening. It's like the cat is, the way they explain it is like, and in this universe, he can only change into a cat right now. Ostensibly, they'll get a bigger budget in season 2, and he will change into other things.
Yeah. It made sense to me, though, why he only turns into a tiger, because he's not taking chances.
Right. And it was, they explained it away really well, where you didn't say, oh, well, they don't have a big enough budget to do anything else. They made some smart choices.
Yes.
I always believed it, that was all he could turn into.
Yep.
Because that's all he believed that's what he could turn into. The minute he starts like becoming part of the team and
feeling safe enough,
the universe is going to get lighter as they become more of a team.
Yep, I agree.
Which is kind of where Defenders fell down.
Yes.
They never made that jump. I think because they were like, oh, let's wait for Defenders season 2. Well, joke's on you.
That's not coming.
That's not coming.
Back to BB and Ray though.
Yeah.
Here's what makes here's what makes their relationship so great. And I think that this is hitting on it. Is that, like you said, they both have this darkness in each other, but they each admire the other for the way they're dealing with it.
Right.
And each of them believes themselves that they're not dealing with it well. But the other admires them for it. Like Beast Boy watches Raven and she uses her power.
Right.
She's scared of it, but she uses it.
And she controls it.
And she controls it. And Raven looks at Beast Boy and says, he stays light-spirited.
Right. He still smiles.
And he still smiles and he perseveres and like this doesn't get to him. And they recognize
and they feed
those
off
strengths.
of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's never communicated, at least in the versions that I've seen and read, that's never communicated well.
Yeah.
It never takes that jump.
Right. You know what got close?
Juice contract.
I was going to say the 2003 Titan series when they did the Trigon.
Oh, yeah, the Trigon. Yes.
When they did that Trigon arc, because
yes,
they got the closest that they've ever gotten.
Yeah.
And Beast Boy let out
the
man beast.
The man beast, yes, to protect her.
To protect her.
Yeah.
The only time he ever did that. And
except in the episode where he couldn't control it.
He couldn't control it, yeah. What was the line? I don't remember. There's a good line about it, though.
There was.
Yeah. It was something like knowing when to let it out is what makes you a man. Something like that.
Yes.
Anywho.
One
last character to talk about. Ray.
Yes.
Rachel
Roth.
A.K.A. Raven. Also, very smartly, with the exception of Robin, they don't use their
code names,
superhero names, but they are present.
Yes.
So, like, Corey, like, the word Starfire comes out when they're learning about, like, her aliases that she has. Raven is never called Raven, but she, there's, like, the prophecy of the Raven.
The prophecy of the Raven.
And that's what's coming true. And Beast Boy... someone legitimately says the words Beast Boy. Oh, no, it's Trigon. He says, oh, are you more beast or more boy?
Yes.
And, like, that's the closest we get. Perfect.
Yeah.
Like, the way they handled that. Anyway, back to Ray.
And that was another thing that the Netflix series always had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Daredevil have a costume and nobody else has it? And they never... They would drop those things, but they never made the jump.
Yeah.
It was always a trope.
Yeah.
And I think they are going to embrace those names.
I agree. I think they're coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
those were the seeds.
Because I think
they're
that's going to be
gonna
the
come up
setup to break the
organically.
spell of Trigon when they accept
who they are.
the darkness inside of them,
Ooh.
when they accept the burdens, that they will break Trigon's spell.
I like it.
Because they are literally doing Terror of Trigon. I like the way they're doing it, that you fight your own worst fear inside of you. In the comic, there was literally a black and white version of yourself you had to fight, and they did that in the 2003.
Again, they did that. Yep, they did that in the Titans, and it wasn't until they
switched and they realized they couldn't fight themselves
because they're too evenly matched.
I'm kicking my own butt. Yeah. Well, I can kick your butt any day of the week.
Light bulb.
Bing, bing.
Yep.
Switch.
Okay, Raven. Ray.
What do you want to say about Raven?
She's awesome.
She is. I mean, wow. What a great actor.
Oh yeah, hey. Great actor. Super smart.
Yeah.
The way they are showing her power.
Yes.
As much more of a curse.
Yes.
It only shows up to her in mirrors.
Yes.
It's certainly very creepy and unsettling.
Terrifying.
And then when it does manifest itself and she lets it out to, protect herself.
It's like the ring.
It's like a biblical plague.
Yeah.
That's how I always saw it. It's like a biblical plague, and I loved that.
Yes.
It's not just a shadow.
Right.
It's like this entity. It's like evil incarnate.
Yeah.
And loved it.
Yes.
What a great...
So well done.
Yeah, what a great interpretation of her power. Yeah. Absolutely loved it. And like I said, I said it at the very beginning, long ago. Have this be your avenue to start the story.
And they're doing it. They really are. And they often get young actors and actresses to play these stories where they're supposed to project some kind of strength or gravitas. And it's usually implied. It doesn't usually translate. And I don't know what else this young actor has been in. Mm-hmm. She's great.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
She is. You believe it.
I really feel like all four of them are very well cast.
Yeah. Oh, strong agree. Agree.
Again, when you first saw the stills, you were like, what's going on here?
What the fuck?
And I hate that I fell into that trap.
Me too, yeah.
Because I didn't give everyone a chance. And I didn't even have to give them much of a chance. Yep. I was 100% on board with Raven and Robin after the first episode.
Yep.
Beast Boy doesn't show up until later.
He shows up in his cat form in the first episode. Or the second episode.
Oh, yeah, he does.
At the end of the first episode, he's stealing DVDs.
But you don't get any. You don't get any.
Nothing.
And then same with Starfire. We get some Starfire, but it's so confusing that it's not until some things get clear that I start to latch on to Starfire. You know what I mean?
Right.
Super smart.
Yep.
Super smart. And it goes back to know your audience. You're making this show. The people who are watching the show are people who have a base understanding of these characters. So let's take it from there. Let's not start from the absolute scratch.
Right.
Love it.
Yep, I'm with you.
Yeah. So that's the characters.
It's just the characters.
And that's just the major characters. Do you have a rave?
This world is deliciously dark.
It is deliciously dark.
And I thought it immediately when... I think they've made all the right choices with how dark it is, the tone, the texture, and even the way it's shot is dark. Mm-hmm. It's hard to see things, but it works in this universe because you literally do not see things coming.
No,
particularly when Raven's power manifests.
Yeah,
and for a very low budget web series. It's not a web series, but it essentially
doesn't feel low budget.
It doesn't feel low budget at all. And
I wrote something very similar. I said that it's legitimately creepy and unsettling. And I said the Batman Arkham Massacre. I wrote it. It was so deliciously dark.
It was.
And it wasn't just gory, but it was psychologically messed up.
It's just see them laid out on the floor and
all these villains that we've known of, and Batman just finally snaps
and so easily
slaughters them
so easily.
Yeah,
in their cells.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
It was.
It was legitimately terrifying.
And you know what? It's like, oh, if there was a Batman, this is what he would be like.
Yeah, And it's also we get that we get that line a lot, like I became something the criminals would fear. And it's like a bat, really?
Sure.
No, it's this shit.
Yes.
This shit is what this is what keeps people in line.
Yes.
Yes.
And like this is what makes his villains so dangerous because they're not afraid.
Yeah.
All the other criminals in Gotham, they just don't go out anymore.
Yeah.
They're all reformed because this is their perception of what Batman
is. What they're terrified of. Yes. Yeah.
And that's what makes like the Joker and the Penguin and Two-Face and Mr. Freeze so dangerous is that they're not afraid of him.
That was such an unsettling scene and so great.
Yes. Going to each cell.
I needed to be unsettled.
Yeah.
In that. And it was perfect.
And the way I texted you, I was like, oh man, Robin's gonna fight Batman in the season finale. I love the way they did it, but I'm glad they did it the way they did it.
Yeah,
I'm glad they didn't actually fight and go down that road because then you can never come back from it. But man, that was, you're right. It was unsettling.
Yes.
In every sense.
The whole episode.
Yeah.
Really. From start to finish.
That was certainly
end,
the I'm not going to spoil the end.
Yeah,
but
don't spoil the end.
The end was unsettling that there was no end.
Yes, the way it ended.
There was no ending.
Is a real cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And if this went the way of like the Marvel universe and we just abruptly canceled, I would be so pissed.
I would be so angry.
Yes.
Well, I mean, good news there. They're already filming season 2. There's no date slated for release because they got to do all the other shows first.
Yeah.
But they're already filming.
Good.
Yep.
I have more raves.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be a long episode of raves.
Yeah, that's fine. Even though I just said we don't need all these origin stories, I'm going to rave about the origin stories of Hawk and Dove and the Doom Patrol.
Yeah. Those are my favorite episodes of the season.
Because you needed those.
Yes.
For especially people like at my level who like knows the main characters and knows these other characters exist.
Right, but you don't know anything
I don't know
about
the
them.
history of them.
Right.
The Doom Patrol episode was such a fun episode. It got me pumped for the Doom Patrol show.
And have you seen the trailer for the Doom Patrol?
Yes, I have.
So you know... Booyah!
Yes, Cyborg.
So eventually he'll make his way over to the Titans, I feel like. I'm so glad when I saw him.
Did you know who does Robot Man's voice?
Yes.
Is that
Brendan Fraser?
That's amazing.
He's perfect.
Loved
He's
Robot
not
Man.
in the costume.
No, I know he's not in the costume.
He's doing ADR.
Yeah.
But I love Brendan Fraser.
And I loved Robot Man.
I loved Robot Man.
And I love Negative Man.
Yes. I love Elastigirl.
I loved the Doctor.
The professor's kind of a douche.
Yeah.
But like
it was a great depiction.
Yep.
The conflict in Garfield in that episode, everything's so good. But
Cooking with Negative Man.
The Hawk and Dove origin episode was like the best episode of television I have seen in years.
Agree. They took 4 B and C tier characters in an hour episode and gave us the whole origin story of Hawk and Dove and Hawk 2 and Dove 2.
Yeah.
And like gave us an origin story, wrapped it up, moved us on, brought us back to the story succinctly.
Yeah.
You're right. Nothing else needs to be said than best hour of television I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like top 5.
Yeah. Absolutely. Artful.
So good. Yes.
So masterfully done.
Yeah. If you watch nothing else of this series, watch Hawk and Dove.
Yeah.
What a great episode of television.
It honestly
and
was.
the way the whole setup of it with like Raven popping in and
yeah, if you don't watch
the
rest,
you won't know what's going on.
You won't know
why
the B plot.
Yeah, the B plot.
But so I would recommend watching it up until that point.
But man,
that
what a rewarding episode
is just amazing.
Donna Troy was also a great episode.
Yes. I was getting to her actually. But I'll talk about it later.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how many. I really wonder if the show is just going to be like a hybrid anthology series to just like, we'll have our core team and it'll just be a way of like bringing in characters that'll never get movies or TV shows of their own.
Yeah, and I'd be fine with that.
I'm so fine with that.
If they can do it the way they did Hawk and Dove,
yep.
Awesome. Do it.
I'm with you.
Do you have any more raves?
I do. The costuming.
That was my next rave.
Wow, look at us.
Look at us. Okay, go ahead.
Costuming, and feel free to piggyback on here.
Okay.
Costume, not too much, not too little. Yep. Netflix never found this balance. I don't know why I wrote this note. Get better in 52. I don't know what that means.
Don't look at me.
But I wrote it down. It's my note. Yeah, I have no idea what that means. But I love the costuming. You get, whenever you see these movies and like these combat suits and like the latex muscle suits or like these super thin polymers that just look like spandex but they're bulletproof somehow, you're like, There's like a low-tech believability to Robin's gear that it's like from far away in the dark looks perfect.
Yeah.
You see it up close and it looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that if you get up close to this costume, it looks like something you'd buy at Party City. And from a distance, and you can see too, like where there's protection and like tactical gear and where there isn't.
Yeah, where there's seams for movement.
Yes.
Yep.
And I think it's the most realistic and like authentic way of doing these worlds that we've seen. With maybe the exception of Daredevil in the Marvel series. But even that was too much.
I'm even talking about everyone else's.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I hadn't gotten there yet.
I mean, Hawk and Dove have great...
They probably have the best costumes of anybody.
Yeah, I mean, they're high quality. But when you look at like what Raven wears, which is just casual street clothes, but it's
works.
so
It's
reminiscent.
so dark.
Like you just see her silhouette and you're like, that's Raven.
Exactly.
You know, the hood that hangs a little too low, you know, the baggy sweatshirt, which kind of mimics the cape that you would imagine. Garfield's like
his hoodie.
Yeah, his hoodie, like varsity
like
jacket type thing.
Tracks pants.
Yeah,
basically.
and with the paw print on it, you know, which could easily just be like a team logo. But you know. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
It's perfect.
And Starfire, who's wearing like this purple pleather outfit, and which you would be like, huh? And then when you realize like where her story started and where she came from, you're like, oh, okay.
So I'll just. This is a rant of mine actually, because I love her look. I love what they did, and you're absolutely right. Where they take her story, it all makes sense, and like. Whatever her backstory is from an alien planet that like they think this is going to make her blend in, but she stands out so flippin' much it's ridiculous. She like drives a 1970s Thunderbird, which is like the biggest honking land barge gas guzzler, and it's like bright purple and leopard print, and she has this like giant fur coat, and these like loud lavender like. Rompers and like cocktail dresses and pantsuit things, jumper things that just are loud and stand out. But like an alien would think, oh yeah, this is what people wear. My only criticism, like I love the 70s crime noir blaxploitation look of her character. Like a Friday Foster or Cleopatra Jones.
Sure.
However.
Okay. Are we transitioning into rants here?
I just on this one thing. Okay. Because it really makes sense to say it now.
Okay. Say it now.
Put some real money into the costuming. Her when you look at everybody else's costume, hers looks cheap. And that's my only complaint.
I thought that was done on purpose, though.
There's still a way to make it look like it's not going to come apart between takes.
She started in... like somewhere in Eastern Europe.
In Eastern Europe, like Germany, like Berlin, I think.
At like the club scene.
Yes.
And it to me, it always looked like a girl who's just partied a little too hard.
Agree.
Yeah.
Once that fell away.
Yeah, then why she was clinging to it.
Why she was clinging to that made no sense.
Yeah.
And it wasn't practical for fighting. It wasn't practical for where she was in the world. It's like steal something a little bit more elaborate. It can still be purple. It can still be loud. It can still be in that more motif.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, maybe, who knows? Maybe I'm 100% wrong and it was all vintage like gear. But it just didn't fit with the quality of the rest of the costuming. And that was, it looked cheap.
It looked thrift store.
Yes. And I'm sure that was a choice. I think they just need to beef up the quality, or like maybe if there were like rack ready stuff, maybe they just need to like tweak it a little bit to make it fit.
Because I will agree with
that
you
was my only complaint.
that the other three in particular had custom costumes made for them.
Exactly.
And hers, do not tell me that was custom made for her.
Exactly.
I will be so disappointed in whoever made it.
Thank you. You've articulated it far better than I did.
But it is. It's like off the rack.
Yes.
Thrift store. Like, and that's believable because of
who she is in this world.
But she's beyond that point in her story now.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Especially when you then at the end of her arc see her spaceship.
Yeah, she does have a spaceship. Spoilers?
Spoilers?
She has a spaceship.
She has a spaceship.
Yeah.
So they just need to spend a little bit more money and time on her costuming, in my humble opinion.
Yes.
And I think they would have avoided a lot of the criticism of the Starfire character.
Was there still criticism after the show came out?
Yes. And I that's really all I can attribute it to, that they didn't spend enough time and money on her costuming.
Yeah. Yeah. Bummer.
I'm
out of raves.
I have a few more raves.
Okay.
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay. So let's transition. That's
a good transition to rants then. On that costuming note, it was my last rave and first rant.
Okay. Oh, well, you already had a rant. I'll take one. Remember, I gave this a 98, so my rants are weak. My rant is Donna. I wanted more Donna. But I'm confident I'm going to get more Donna.
I am confident in season 2 she's going to be a regular.
A key player.
A key player. And remember, I mean, she's where we left the story. She's right on the other side of the door.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no.
So
that's why it's so minor of a rant.
Yes.
Because I know she'll continue. But like when I just look back, all I could do was look at season 1 and I wanted more Donna.
I think that was her last line, was like, or we can just run through the front door.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
And bless her heart for putting Dick in that scene in the art gallery. I absolutely love that. That was the best when he's being hit on by that guy.
It's still, I think it's close on my phone.
And he just doesn't even know how to function as a human being.
Yep.
Like an average human being. It is fantastic. Like Starfire is far better at blending in.
Right.
Than Dick Grayson is.
I forgot the note you said. It was like, Dick Grayson trying to make small talk at an art gallery is everything, or something like that. Yeah.
I think I tweeted it, yeah.
Oh, that's what you did tweet it, yeah.
So guys, you can go to go for Sketch.
Go for Sketch and little tweet. Yep, you can see that.
That was my rant. Like I said, super minor.
Yes.
Super minor.
I already talked about the bad press. I already talked about Starfire's costume. Okay, this is a good one. What was the season about?
Is this a big question?
It's a rant. It never felt... it could also be a big question. It never felt defined about what the season was about. And I don't think they knew what the season was about. And I have a big question that addresses this later. But also the Netflix MCU also suffered from the same thing. Even when it knew what it was about. So I guess my question is, it needed to tell a more succinct story. There was an A plot, which was the Raven story.
Yeah.
And then the B plot was kind of muddy.
Yeah, because I can't even identify the B plot.
Exactly.
What the story was about.
The B plot was bring in as many characters from other shows that we're going to launch in the next year as we can.
Or maybe the B plot is no, I think.
Or maybe the A plot was like Robin getting over Batman, and the B plot was Raven. I don't know, but
no, I think A plot is
Robin and Raven, and bringing the team together.
Family in unlikely places.
Okay, thank you.
That's the plot. Each of these
Family in unlikely places is the A plot.
Is lacking in those family relationships.
Yes,
and
great observation.
And they are discovering them together. Now it wasn't. It was subtle.
Yes,
and it's still so early in all their relationships that it hasn't become clear yet. But you can really see it with Raven and Dick. Yes. Like you can see that forming, whether it's a father-daughter bond or a little sister-big brother bond.
Right.
It is that older male, younger woman relationship,
and not a creepy relationship.
Isn't that a shame that that's like the go-to?
It is.
Yeah, where there are like, there's like dads and daughters.
And it really, about that, whether it is like father-daughter or brother-little sister thing, but it's in this world, it's if I don't do something, like Batman could scoop her up and then she's really fucked.
Mhm.
Like this is what Batman looks for.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
If I don't help her find closure here,
yeah,
she'll be ruined forever. She'll be me.
And it's so natural. It's not like, oh, well, he's the guy. He has to protect her.
Right.
It's like, this is an experienced crime fighter helping. Basically, you take away her powers, she's just like a lost teenage girl.
Yes.
And it just so happens that she's also being targeted by like a cult.
Yes.
And he has the experience and the skills
to destroy that cult.
And he also has, let's not forget that like there is a selfish reason he's doing this, in that like
he likes to hurt people.
He likes to hurt people. And it's his addiction.
Yes.
Also taking the wheel for
right
a second every once in a while. Ooh, here's an opportunity.
Yep.
Here's an opportunity to,
I really like the way this, and I didn't notice it at first, but like the case is like the bottle that like some recovering alcoholics will carry a bottle around with them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's always daring them. And like, that's their motivation. Or like, it's the bottle of pills in your pocket, or it's like the razor blade in your nightstand for like people who cut themselves, or it's like when I was first watching, I was like, all right, when's he going to get back into the costume? And then like it dawned, I was like, oh shit. Like we don't want him to get into the costume.
Yeah.
Don't get in the costume, Dick.
It's dangerous. And then by the time he gets into it, you're like oh
no, not again.
Yeah.
And then
it's good storytelling.
Oh, I mean, the climax of all of that is
destroying the costume,
destroying it.
Yep.
And in the way he destroys it, it's just like, like no going back.
Yeah,
no going back. That's it. That's it.
Because we're gonna get Nightwing.
We're gonna get Nightwing finally.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. And I think
finally.
And I think this Dick is in good hands.
I think so. Yeah.
Do you want to say that too?
No.
Okay.
Grayson.
We'll just keep that soundbite a sketch exclusive.
It's a sketch exclusive.
All right. That's fine. I'm fine with that. My other rant, which was a super, super minor, and it's like my Donna rant, like wanting more. However, what makes this more of a rant is that I can never have more. I wanted more with the creepy family. Because I thought they were really awesome.
Are we getting a new father?
Yes. And they were the perfect juxtaposition to the Titans, because here is this actually group of like dysfunctional people who are functioning together
as a family,
as a family, like the Titans, right. And making it work. Whereas but you'd look at him and be like, well, here
right.
comes trouble, or
right.
like this is batshit crazy. And
we have a disturbance out here.
Yeah. And instead you have like this nuclear family that you would look
right.
at and not bat an eye at. And they are stone cold killers, like brainwashed killers.
Beat you to death with a baseball
bat. And loved that.
Yes.
Absolutely loved that was their foil for so much of the series. And then, so I was disappointed that they all got their heads exploded like so quick.
Right.
What I would have wanted, just to make this not a rant, is like explode one of their heads in one episode, so that you could be like, oh shit, like they're even more dangerous than I thought, because they know this is their motivation beyond anything else. It's not money. It's not even really brainwashing. It's just constant fear of like popping. Yeah. And so then give me like one more episode where like I know the stakes are that high,
right?
And it's just like all out war.
When Dick walks back into the hotel, what did you do? Yes. I didn't do anything.
Well, when they first blow up, she's like, he's gonna blame me for this.
Blame me for, yeah.
So that's why they were ranked, because I absolutely.
To be fair, she did blow up everything that she came into contact with.
Oh yeah, no, she's the boy that cries wolf,
right?
She's the boy who cried blow up.
Yeah.
So I wanted like one more episode with them in it.
Sure.
With that little buffer in the middle. Yeah, because I just love them.
But instead, we got Hawk and Dove. So I can't really complain that we didn't.
No,
get it.
I can't either. But I will say that, like,
Their story felt complete.
their story felt complete.
And I'm sure there will be more of those people.
But there's no more stipulations on how many episodes a season must be.
Right.
To tell a story. So.
And also,
Drop in
will
one
we
more.
get the Titans to show up in, like, Doom Patrol?
Yeah.
Or Hawk and Dove?
You'd think at least Garfield will show up in Doom Patrol.
I would
at least
imagine.
at some point, even if it's just like a flashback.
Right.
Or something.
Do you have any more rants?
Those are my only 2 rants. Remember, I gave this thing a 98. I loved it.
Okay. I have one last rant.
Okay.
And remember, a rant is
Something that takes
something
you
that
out of the
takes you
property.
out of the property.
Yeah.
Okay. The final episode of the season, Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
I love the story.
Yeah.
It just felt like it didn't fit tonally with the rest of the season.
Okay.
It felt like one big reshoot to me.
Okay.
Like, I think the season was going in a different direction.
Mhm.
And because the show was so successful, they decided to save whatever they were going to do and did this instead.
That is possible. I
'Cause
mean,
it didn't feature really any of the other characters.
no, it didn't. Here's the big spoiler here that we'll put out. All of the events of the last episode take place entirely within Dick Grayson's head.
Yes.
Because he's being manipulated,
And
corrupted by Trigon. Right?
the crux is in this scenario that Trigon's playing out in his head.
Yeah.
If Dick gives in and kills Batman,
He's lost.
He's lost. He will have given in to the darkness inside of him, and Trigon controls him.
Control him. Yeah. So in that way, I agree that it feels very different from the whole rest of the series. When you pan out at the end and you realize, oh, this has all been in his head. This has been his greatest fear all along. Yada yada
Right.
yada. Makes sense in that context. It would work better as a mid-season break.
Yep.
Which we're getting dicey here now, because what is a season? When do things air? Like,
Right.
it's tough to know.
Maybe this is the mid-season finale.
Could be the mid-season break. So I forgive it that. Because it's entirely in Dick's head.
Sure.
And they did a great job of just summing up all of his fears
Yes.
into that.
I will agree with that.
That's so cool.
And it was a great episode.
Great episode.
It was probably like the worst thing you could do for a season finale, however.
Sure.
Tonally.
Yeah.
And very early on, they put out production stills
Mhm.
of Dick in the Nightwing costume, Starfire in like her Tamaranian battle gear. I will assume it is, that it's not of this earth, what she's going to wear. They put it out there, and then as the DCEU app started picking up speed and they announced Young Justice Outsiders,
They pulled it back.
They pulled that back, and we got this episode.
Okay.
So to me, it felt like a reshoot.
Okay.
Of like, we got to stretch this out a little bit.
A little fan servicey.
Yeah.
The fans really want to see Dick go up against Batman.
Just in the sense of, let's not bring the team together just yet.
Let's hold our horses.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I say mid-season break.
Yep.
Mid-season
And I'm
break.
with you on that.
Yeah.
You want to transition to big cues?
Yeah. Do you have any big cues?
I do.
I have 3, none earth-shattering. None I'm particularly proud of, but questions I had nonetheless.
Sure. Do you want to go first?
How many do you have?
I have 4.
Okay, you start then.
Great. Okay. So in this universe, Starfire is, just kind of portrayed as this party girl.
Mhm.
She's used her powers a couple times
Mhm.
against varying groups.
Mhm.
And basically, she is able to channel intense amounts of heat.
Yep.
She's, you know what? She's kind of like Sparky Boom Man.
She is very much like Sparky Boom Man. And a plant.
And a plant, yes,
Yeah.
and a plant. She absorbs solar power and then can redirect it in the form of heat energy.
Sparky Boom Man and Zan from Farscape had a
Yeah.
baby,
Yes.
it would be Starfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's got it. Long-time listeners, you all got that? Perfect. We don't
Yeah.
need to explain it any more than
We
that.
don't. So my question is, how did the organization come up with a plan to counteract her? if they were not aware of her
Oh, the cult organization?
prior to like the day before.
Yeah.
Because they have a system, they have a countermeasure for her that is perfect and immediate. And I feel like they could not have built that chamber.
What do they do for her?
They have like a chamber that like not only is in sheer blackness, but it also sucks the air out of the room. It like completely, so you can't have fire without oxygen.
Yeah.
So she's unable to, she keeps trying, but they just suck the air out of the room, and then she loses consciousness eventually because she keeps trying to spark fire, and the little oxygen that's left in there, she keeps eating up. And she basically passes out.
I don't have a perfect answer for you.
Yeah.
But I'll take a crack at it. I do not believe that we know how long Starfire has been on this planet.
Yeah, well, they posit at least a year.
Yeah. So it's possible that they have known about her longer than we have known about her.
Sure.
And that they are aware vaguely of her powers, but more so that she is after Rachel.
Right.
And that at some point they will be at odds. And so they need to come up with some sort of containment. That's
okay.
That's the best I can do for you. It's the best I can offer you.
I'll accept that. I will also, I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
The Tamaranians and Starfire seem to be aware of Trigon and the prophecy of the Raven.
Yeah, they do seem to be, yeah.
Is it also possible that the organization is aware of the Tamaranians and their powers?
It is possible. Can you refresh my memory? Did
Star has a book that is written in Tamaranian that is like the prophecy of the Raven.
It prophesizes that basically Trigon will destroy her world.
Yes. She's here on Earth to stop Trigon because when Trigon's finished with Earth, the next place he will go is Tamaran.
Okay. Naturally.
Yes.
As one would do.
You know, it is the next planet in line.
And Rachel,
Mercury,
Raven
Venus,
is the
Earth,
door.
Tamaran, Mars, right?
Yeah. So the way to close the door is just to kill Rachel. So she's basically here. Yeah. Okay.
To kill Rachel.
Yeah.
No Rachel, no Trigon.
It is very possible. I mean, this cult is aware of Trigon.
Right.
If they're aware of Trigon, therefore it is possible they're aware of Tamaran. It's possible.
Okay. Yeah.
It's possible. I don't feel satisfied by the answer.
That's okay.
But it's like the best I can give you.
I appreciate that.
It's like the Diet Coke of answers. No, I take it back. I hate Diet Coke.
It's like the Crystal Pepsi of answers.
Never drink Diet Coke. Ugh.
Crystal Pepsi?
I've never had it. Never had it. Is it good?
No.
Oh.
People seem to love it.
This episode brought to you by Crystal Pepsi. Perfect. Okay, one of my big questions. This is a legitimate question. Can detectives really just take an unspecified time off?
As you know,
doesn't he have other cases?
The last organization that I worked for were complete and utter douchebags about time off.
Yeah.
Regardless of how many personal and or sick days that had been accrued.
Yeah.
Never wanted to pay you.
Yeah.
I wrote that down somewhere, how many sick days.
Yeah, Dick just up and leaves.
Well, at some point, his precinct calls him, and he calls the precinct, and, clearly he's, on assignment. This is what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I don't think that's how it works. I don't think, a Detroit detective just, drives a minor by himself in his car, his Porsche Carrera, to Washington, D.C., to protect, hide her away and protect her. I don't... You know what I mean? I don't think that's how
his partner
witness protection works.
His partner was flat out killed, right?
His partner was shot in the head in her apartment.
In her own apartment?
Yes.
Yeah, because she had just gotten home.
She got home from work. The family was waiting for her.
Yeah.
And they beat her to death.
Yeah. That was rough.
It was very difficult to watch.
Why more with that family?
Totally Dick Grayson's fault.
Really?
Yes. He didn't tell her what he was doing. And he wasn't a good partner to her.
Okay, I mean,
kept her in the dark.
I put a little bit of the blame on the family that killed her.
Sure.
But I'm going to give a little bit. I won't say totally.
But he also didn't tell her what was coming. He knew what was coming at that point.
Did he know about the family at that point?
No, but he knew that
The threat.
the threat was real, and that officers in the department were trying to abduct her.
Maybe he didn't trust her.
Maybe he didn't.
He probably didn't trust her enough to let her in on it.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
She seemed like a good cop. I feel like she's going to come back as someone or something.
The Spectre.
Maybe.
There's very little she can come back as
Wow.
at this point.
I'm proud of you, Sketch.
Thank you. Oh, it's yours.
Yeah, maybe she will come back as the Spectre. Rachel's mom's story.
Her real mom or her adopted
Her
mom?
real mom.
Okay.
Maybe her real mom?
Yeah.
Why was she imprisoned if she was an acolyte of Trigon the whole time? Spoiler.
I don't think she ever was imprisoned.
Right.
I think it was all a ruse.
It was all a ruse.
Yeah.
It was all a ruse.
Bait. It was just bait.
How did she even learn about her mom in prison? Somebody told. Who told her? The nuns, right?
Who told her?
Was it the nuns?
The nuns told
Who were
her
also evil.
some stuff. They were evil they were a different kind of evil. They weren't in on this whole Trigon thing.
No, they were like, we have
Evil.
to lock her away
Yes.
so that the devil doesn't.
Yes. They
Come
were
to
like uninformed evil.
Yeah.
They were like ignorant evil.
Yeah.
Um,
Classic Catholic Church, ignorant evil.
oh boy.
Oh, there goes some subscribers.
Can you leave our real world out of my fake world, please?
Sure. Sorry. Apologies, longtime listeners. Real show about fake things.
I'm forgetting how they thought.
I am
about the
also
asylum.
forgetting that. Did it come up in the Batman's surveillance computer that Batman seems to have the entire world under surveillance in his little safe house computer.
In this series is truly a villain.
Yes.
Like
he appears to have every building in America under observation.
100% a villain. That's funny. I honestly, long-time listeners, if you watched this more recently than we did, and you remember what's the cookie
setup,
crumb that leads them to the asylum? Because I
don't remember either.
Remember.
At some point, the idea is planted, but I don't remember what the inception point is.
But it's obviously a big setup,
right?
Just to insert
Rachel's
mom.
Is she even? I guess she is actually Rachel's mom because she meets
It's doubtful all the way up until Trigon shows up, and then Trigon recognizes her, and so all doubt in my mind is erased.
And also the sheriff recognizes her.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, it is Rachel's mom.
Yeah. Did the sheriff die?
Oh yeah, she killed him. She killed the sheriff, and that's when you're like, oh shit, she's evil.
Oh yeah.
Spoilers.
She also poisoned Garfield.
Yes.
What a bitch.
What a fucking bitch.
That's when I hated her the most. Ooh, smart though.
Yep.
Smart. Evil and smart. All right, I got another big question.
And also,
oh yeah,
in that was a little rave there. Like she poisons Garfield because she knows how much.
Oh yeah, Rachel cares.
Rachel cares about him.
And it's the only way that she'd make that bargain. She'd
save him.
Yeah, super smart.
Which Trigon does.
Yeah,
it's like he's
to his credit.
He's a man of his word.
He is.
It's interesting. Like Trigon and Thanos. They're honorable.
Well, we are living in the age.
We don't agree with their goals, but they're honorable.
Of
the anti-hero.
Yeah, and more compelling villains. That are less cookie cutter and
I love this depiction. I love that actor. Seamus,
what else would I know him in?
I think Seamus Galligan is his name.
And what's he been in?
I know him from Castle.
Never watched Castle.
He played. He was one of the supporting characters on Castle.
Okay,
he was a great actor.
Didn't see it,
and I'm so glad that he's
Trigon.
He's Trigon because he was great as Trigon.
I'm so glad Trigon is taking on human form.
Yes, and like the form of the new commissioner of police in Gotham.
Is that?
He was the new commissioner in Gotham. I thought that was so smart.
In the dream. Yeah. Because he's there all along.
Yeah,
because
you think he's there all along. Like
he is there all along.
In the dream.
In the dream. Yeah, he's there in the dream all along.
He was Gordon's number 2.
Because there's the true evil of Trigon, because Dick multiple times proved he wasn't going to cross that line.
Right.
But there he keeps tempting. He keeps tempting. He keeps tempting. He keeps upping the ante,
Trigon
until he gets the result he wants.
And he made himself someone that Dick trusted.
Yep.
Because in the dream sequence, he was Gordon's number 2.
Yep. Yep. That scene had 2 dicks. Grayson and just a big dick.
Oh boy.
Here's my next question.
Sure.
What kind of paper was Rachel's photo printed on in that Eastern European nightclub? Because Starfire torched those people to death and then picked up the photo. I was watching that with my wife, and she said, if that photo survived, I'm going to lose it. And then Starfire just picks it up and like dusts off the corner.
Yep.
She cremated those guys where they stood.
They turned to ash and blew away.
The photo was on the table between the 3 of them.
Survived.
That's amazing paper.
It is.
The only thing I can say,
buy stock in that paper.
Yes. The only thing I will say is perhaps that's her picture and it's alien paper.
I will accept that. It's not a great answer, but I'll accept it.
I also don't understand why those guys were looking for Rachel.
I don't... okay, so my next big question is, where did Starfire's FBI cover story come from?
Yeah.
And that whole set that she was in Europe looking for. If her cover was that she was FBI.
Yeah.
Why did she need to go to Europe and meet Tobias Whale? Is that who it was?
Maybe. If I'm remembering things correctly, he is
the guy that she killed is like a classic DC
is he?
Like mafia mob
because
boss.
If I'm remembering
Bruno
everything
Mannheim,
correctly,
was it Bruno Mannheim? Maybe Inner Gang.
There is literally no reason that her start of the story needs to take place in Eastern Europe.
No reason whatsoever.
It could have taken place in America easily.
Anywhere. Yep.
And that would have fixed this problem.
Yep.
Not the problem with the photo paper.
No, and not the problem with her FBI cover story.
Yeah.
Which is never referenced again.
No. Well, but...
other than the fact that she's not really with the FBI.
Yeah.
I think it was all a red herring to keep us off kilter.
Yeah. Well.
It felt like something that was clearly shot very early on.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
make it work.
Make it work. We've got the footage in the can. We're not reshooting it. Make it work.
Yeah. All these kind of things, though, make me really excited for season 2 because, they're
going to have a huge budget.
And these things were all, put together, not knowing if it was going to be a surefire hit. So, we got to work with what we got.
Right.
And now we got some confidence.
Yeah.
Now we got some backing from the network, quote unquote network.
Warner Brothers is going to give us some of that sweet Aquaman money.
We can do this from start to finish.
Yes.
As we see fit.
Right.
I'm excited. Do you have any more big questions?
I do. I have one more.
Okay.
Oh, I already asked it. Never mind. Nope, I'm out of big questions.
Okay, I got one last big question.
Okay.
Multiple times in this series, short series, multiple times, Raven's eating waffles. Was that on purpose?
Yes!
You think that was on purpose?
Waffles!
Okay. Because it was a nice shout out.
It was a great shout out.
And
my prediction for that is in season 2, they're all going to be eating waffles.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd love it. Beast Boy is completely vegan in this version.
Yes, he was a vegetarian.
He was a vegetarian and
now he is vegan.
Vegan. Makes sense.
Oh, man.
I
felt so bad for him.
It makes... You know what? I take that back. It doesn't make sense. It would have made more sense if Beast Boy in 2003 comic was vegan.
Yes.
And this one was vegetarian because... he can only turn into a tiger.
Right.
He's never had the experience of being milked or giving up eggs or whatever.
Right.
But he has a real fear about the taste of flesh.
Yes.
He really, legitimately is afraid that he will chomping down on some sweet, sweet faces.
Yes.
And
that seems to have come to pass.
Yeah, that has come. Yeah, he was pushed.
Yeah.
He was pushed there. And but I get it. I also get
I
it.
felt so bad for him.
Oh yeah.
That was so terrible. That was so hard to watch.
Yeah. They did a great job at Beast Boy's character. I mean, we already talked about it. I can't help it. I can't help it. Just that's the little bow I'm going to tie on it.
I'll just say one more time.
Booyah! We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
I really hope so.
So,
I can't wait for those two to play Stank Ball.
Stank Ball. So that, guys, that's I know you were really wondering what we thought of Titans.
I loved it.
Because
I loved it.
Your Titans go-to podcast. So we both really liked it.
Yeah.
And
it's a great show. It really is.
I know you have a hard time believing us because we are DC fanboys. But we have admitted when other things have fallen flat.
Yeah.
Green Lantern. I mean, we've had some issues. This, though, if you have not watched it, which understandably it's more difficult to see.
I feel like it is a manageable subscription for everything that they're giving you if you're someone who reads comics and wants to consume these shows. If you have a Netflix subscription or a Hulu subscription, maybe you cancel that for a few months and jump on over to DC, because you can read any comic you want with part of this package.
That's pretty sweet.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's too bad you gave up comics.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Are you?
It was a bad time to.
Are you allowing yourself to read old comics and just not jumping onto the story as it's continuing?
Yeah, I'm not reading the new things that come out, but so there's a plethora of things for me to go back and read that I missed in like New 52 and Golden Age and Bronze Age and stuff that I'm revisiting that I haven't read in a long time.
Great. So give Titans a check it out. Not if you're a child.
No,
very young. Don't watch it.
No.
But if you like good television, this is good television. This is pretty much as good as television gets.
A strong agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and say that it's the best series ever done.
Whoa!
In this genre of superheroes.
Okay. Sure.
Let me work my brain around to that one more time. This is the best superhero TV show that's ever been done.
Yeah.
Hands down. As you know, we love the Arrowverse. You know, we love the Netflix Marvel universe.
Yeah. Yeah, we give Marvel Netflix, for those of us, so for people who are saying that, like, we're DC
we loved
fanboys,
it. We're really sad that
the Marvel
DCEU
universe has been absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
And
I loved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
That's coming back. They're going to do a season 6 in the summer. I'm excited for that. But this is just...
Titans is the cream of the crop.
It's
risen to the top.
It's a tower above the rest.
Yep. Get your fill of dick while you can.
Grayson.
Sure. I guess that brings us to
Shades and Sketch
Recommendations.
We're getting better at that.
Shades, why don't you start us off?
I am going to recommend Young Justice Outsiders, which is also on the DC streaming service.
Nice.
But wow, guys, we campaigned hard for this.
Yeah, we
series.
did. We say that a lot, and like sometimes we're joking. We did. Yeah, the fans spoke.
The fans, all of us collectively, we campaigned hard for this. And, sometimes people deserve to be rewarded.
Yeah.
And this series is fantastic. And now they don't have to deal with Cartoon Network putting it on out of sequence and not showing it for 3 weeks and changing the night. It's fantastic. They're telling the story that they want to tell. It's a great story. I think all of the new characters are fantastic. Friend of the pod, Zara Fossil, is the voice of Halo, and I love how they reimagined Halo. I'd love to speak with her again if we have the opportunity in the future to talk about this character and everything that they redeveloped, because it's just so damn smart.
They're great. Maybe she'll come on for the Young Justice episode.
Maybe, yeah. Inevitably,
I haven't watched it yet. Like I said with Titans,
you haven't seen it.
I wait for the whole season.
Right.
and then I like to binge it all at once.
So we're in the
That's what streaming has done to me.
Yeah, we're mid-season right now, and I love it. I love all the new characters. I love all the returning characters. I think they've made really smart choices, and high recommendations.
Yeah. Well, you've always said when it comes to Justice, you love them young.
Yeah, I think that is what I say.
Yeah,
Yep.
you would say that a lot. At parks and stuff.
Yeah.
We'd always have to leave.
I know.
In a hurry. Roller rinks and bowling alleys.
Not allowed at the Dairy Twirl anymore.
No.
No. I don't know why.
Well, it was because you said, I'll show you my Dairy Twirl. And
okay, we've taken this too far.
That's why we had to.
It's moments like this that make
leave.
Elise not listen to the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's missing out.
What is your recommendation, Sketch?
My recommendation is the anime I'm currently watching. With all this superhero stuff, I'm still trying to make time for some anime.
Yeah.
Because that was really where I started geeking out in the first place. So I am currently watching an anime that is currently airing, and it is called That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. And it is great. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
And the premise is this dude, and he is killed. It has to happen to be reincarnated. And like in his dying breaths, he's like thinking of all the regrets that he had in life and the things he didn't do. And there's like, I'm not giving away any spoilers because this is just the setup of the first episode.
First 5 minutes.
There's like this entity, like you can call it God or you could just call it the game master or whatever, is like registering all these regrets and like what he wishes his life has been and like translating them into traits.
Slime.
For what he's going to reincarnate as. And he reincarnates in this other world. So not on Earth, in this other world, in like a classic fantasy world with goblins and orcs and dwarves and all that stuff. And he reincarnates as the lowliest of low, a slime. But all of these regrets have translated into the most overpowered powers that he could possibly have.
As slime.
As a slime. And it's the story of him kind of making his way in this world, using his powers for good, and exploring the world and gathering more and more influence and more allies in his quest.
Is he like a slime creature? Like
he is
the Orville?
He is a small blue blob.
Okay.
That's all he is. Just a small blue blob.
So he's like the green blob on...
Yep. He's literally just he's a circle. He's just a circle.
Just a blue circle.
But I will give you a spoiler.
Overpowered.
Because if that...
his power is
if
to
that
have
turns
lots
you
and lots
off,
of powers.
His power kind of is to have lots and lots of powers. He has a power called Predator, which allows him as a slime to digest anything and take on its attributes. So
he's Kirby.
So yeah, he's very much like Kirby. So if he swallows a monster, if that monster had a specific technique or something, he now knows that technique forever. And so at one point, he does something that allows him to take a humanoid form. So now he swaps back and forth between a humanoid form and the blob.
Blob.
So if you're off put by the idea of just watching a circle for 26 episodes, goes back and forth. The action is surprisingly good. I was really skeptical when it was first recommended to me, but the action's surprisingly good. The animation's fantastic, and it's a new twist on like a classic fantasy story.
Cool.
That time, I was reincarnated as a slime.
As a slime.
It's on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
So, there you go.
Well, that brings us to the end of the episode.
The end of Titans.
The end
Shades,
of
do you want
Titans.
to take anything from the Titans universe?
I'm gonna take the key to this super swanky.
That's smart. That's smart.
And
Mhm.
I'm gonna take this spare Batmobile.
You're allowed to take two things?
Well, it's the key. I'm taking the key to this apartment.
Okay, because you're not actually taking the
I'm
apartment.
not taking the apartment.
Okay.
I'm taking this Batmobile because you never know when you're going to need a safe house in Chicago.
I'll allow it.
But I am taking this spare Batmobile.
Okay.
And I am adding it to my garage.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thank you.
That is fair. I am taking, because no one's using it anymore, this R badge with like collapsible R throwing stars, because I think those are freaking awesome.
That was quite deadly.
Yeah. And I'm just going to wear it, and then
Careful, someone could lose an eye.
someone easily could lose an eye.
I was aiming for the knife.
Yeah. That's a shout out to another episode of
Yeah.
ours. Who knows when it aired?
Who knows? Guys, we're all over the place.
We are. That's what the GOCO lets us do.
Yeah.
Shades, you want to start wrapping it up, and I'm going to hit the bathroom.
Oh,
you're-
don't go in there.
Why? What's...
You don't want to go in the bathroom.
Okay. Well, then we better get out of here
The
soon.
maid has not been here in a while.
Okay. All right. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Guys, if you are a fan of the pod, we would appreciate it if you would leave a rating or review on your platform of choice. And we are all over the place. We are on players that I didn't know existed, but it's awesome to see us there. So wherever you are listening to us, whether it's iTunes or the Google Podcast app or Spotify or CastBox or Player FM or the myriad of other players that they're popping up all the time, wherever you listen to us, kindly leave a rating or review. You can email us at gowithshadesansketch@gmail.com.
You can check us out on the Facebooks. Facebook search Geeking Out
Geeking
Shades and
Out.
Sketch.
Shades and Sketch. You can tweet us at gowithshadesansketch.
You can.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It's just at Shades and Sketch.
At Shades and Sketch, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can go for Shades if you want to talk just for to Shades.
And you can go for Sketch on Twitter if you just want to talk to Sketch.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Titans go!